Hi, this is Ben Gentile with the Visit Group. Welcome back to another edition of our program. We're in Keizer today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about an exciting project that has come together very quickly in Keizer, and that's really the building of the Keizer Heritage Community Center. With me today to talk a little bit about this are Al Rasmus, who's the project manager, and Jim Hoopy, who's the president of the Heritage Foundation here in Keizer. Thanks a lot for having me out.
Well, thanks for showing up, and hope we can lend some information to you.
Well, great. There's a wonderful history about the school itself, and maybe you want to start off there.
Al, you want to take that?
Sure. The history, the school was built in 1916 and been used as a school since that time until the early 80s when the school district had combined in the past, and then they closed the school down, used it for administrative for a while. Then in approximately 1988, the shopping center here in Keizer, which was where Ross is now, the Schoolhouse Square Shopping Center, the school was on the corner of that, and the developer was just going to push the school over. So there was a group back there, Save Our School Committee, that wanted to save the school, and it was comprised of people in the community, some teachers that were taught at the school and so forth. They put together a committee to raise funds to move the school, and it was moved initially behind Ross Shopping Center to a city park. And they tried to restore it there, and it was out of sight, so the people didn't really see it once the shopping center was done. And a lot of vandalism occurred, and the project stalled. So then in 1995, they had a discussion at City Hall and with the city to find out what to do with it, and decided to move it down to the property where it's at now to put it on city property, more visible to the community. And they did that, cost over $100,000 to move it to 2 blocks down here, and they moved it intact, which was a great feat for this big building.
Yeah. Now, Jim, things have happened very quickly this year, as I understand it.
Yes, they have. We were under considerable pressure from the community to do something with the building. We had, the building was boarded up because of the vandalism problems. We decided that the only way that we're going to get this building in the community eye, so to speak, was to start making some improvements in it. So we planted the lawn and painted the building on the outside and removed all of the boards off the windows and stuff. And we started a large fundraising campaign at the first of the year. We went before the Keizer Urban Renewal Board, which is a citizens advisory board, and we asked for their support in getting an urban renewal grant from the city of Keizer for a matching grant. For if we would raise part of the money, the city would raise part of the money. And we went in, we had a meeting with the Keizer Urban Renewal Board, and we came out of there about 3 hours later with a 10-0 recommendation to go before the Urban Renewal Agency. So we did that a couple weeks later and got their recommendation, went before the City Council, and the City Council of the City of Keizer then voted 7-0 to support the project with money. So they really came up with a 55% match, 45% match. The city matched 45% if we'd raise 55% of the money. So we actually raised approximately $280,000, and the city matched with $250,000. So
wonderful.
That funded the project. We did that. We did the fundraising in 90 days, and then we made the commitment to the community that we would build the project and be done before the end of the year. Well, we're in our final week right now, and we're almost done with the project, as you can see. So.
Well, that's great. And Al, you've really got a multifaceted building here. Lots of different uses. Tell us a little bit about the room that we're in right now.
Sure. The room we're in now is the community meeting room. You look around the room, which the people can't do, but it's really one large room. It can be broken into 2 smaller rooms using the original bifold doors that they had here in the school. Those are being restored. And we kept some of the trim around the windows, the original trim around the blackboard and so forth, so we tried to keep as much of the original part of the building. The building will be used, this room, for meetings. Young Life, one of the groups, will be permanently meeting here in the room. Also be available for rental by the public for weddings and anniversaries, receptions, that type of thing. Also be used by nonprofit groups and by the tenants in the building.
Great. And Jim, you're also going to have the visitor center here as well as the chamber office.
The Keizer Chamber of Commerce will be housed permanently, and through the funding of the the hotel motel tax in Keizer. They're also funding a Keizer Visitors Association, and they'll also be housed with the chamber, and that'll be funded year to year based on the amount of money available for that. And but we hope that it will become a permanent fixture here in Keizer. And with the Oregon Gardens just 12 miles away from us here, we're expecting a great deal of tourism to travel through the Keizer area in the next few years, and we're expecting that the Keizer Chamber will be a big part of that. So we wanted them to be housed here in the community center, that part of it.
Sure, you've got a great location right off the freeway, so a lot of those people coming into the area will be able to avail themselves of that information.
Absolutely.
Now, you've also got the Art Association in here and the gallery. Tell us a little bit about that, Jim.
Well, the Keizer Art Association is a group of artists and art supporters that are in the community, housed in the community. Currently, they're using a room in the City Hall, and they have to share the space with the gallery space and their teaching classroom space in the same area. So they really wanted a permanent home. So what we did was we provided a portion of the building to be for the Keizer Art Association. They'll have a gallery here full-time and a teaching classroom. They'll expand their teaching classes now to a larger schedule and include summer classes for children, and we hope to involve more of the community in that. So.
Great. And Al, you've set aside some space here as well for a museum and also for the Reading Connection, haven't you?
Right. The Reading Connection is a small lending library that was started by Richard and Patty Sawyer some years back here in town. And they've been open on Saturdays over in a room at City Hall also. So now they're able to expand to larger space here and add another 15,000 books. And it's a great facility for Keizer for adults and children. A lot of people think it's a children's library, but probably more than half of the people that come here are adults. And the other thing we have is the museum, which is brand new. There hasn't been a museum before, but as part of the restoration of the school, they had taken things out of the school before that are going to be displayed in the museum. And a lot of the residents of people of Keizer have donated stuff to the school for the museum. In fact, we're looking for more donations. If people want to do that, they can contact us. But that's something that's starting from scratch, and we'll have a taste of that at the grand opening that's coming up on the 22nd of November.
Great. And also Young Life, you've mentioned that. What's that all about?
Young Life is a non-denominational Christian group that meets, currently meeting the needs of the youth in the community, basically high school age youth at this point in time, although they have plans to expand their programs down into the middle school area. And they basically meet and they have meetings and have fellowship. And they will have a full-time facilitator. Actually, he's three-quarter time at this point in time, due to the funding from Keizer Rotary Club. And Keizer Rotary Club will pay for their rent here in the building, and also for the use of this particular room on Monday nights. So they'll meet here. I think their classes are 2 hours a night.
Yeah, every
Currently,
Monday
they're
night.
meeting in private homes, so that'll take another load off of some communities.
Sure. Well, this is a big building. How much square footage is in here?
Oh, the overall square footage is probably about 8,700 square feet, and some of that's common area, but definitely has a lot of use for the building. And there's a couple small offices used by Keizer Heritage for our records, and Young Life for their records, and so forth too. So it's a great facility.
Oh, it's a wonderful facility. I would really encourage you folks to come out. It's an easy location on Chemawa Road between I-5 and River Road here in Keizer. The building is almost finished, and if you do come out, I think you'll really be surprised. It's a wonderful renovation that has taken place. Until next week, this is Ben Gentile with the Visit Group. Happy travels. Thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate
Oh,
your...
thank you.